This is a time where people in the Navy are thankful that they don't have the hard fitness standards of the Army, the Marine Corps. We're not going to include Air Force and Space Force, just copies Air Force because they can't figure out what they would do on their own. I mean, there is no gravity in space, but the Navy fitness test is getting easier technically over the next year, and we're going to explain why that is, and some things are actually a tad bit harder for a very small group, and we'll get into that as well. Now, a little backstory. As you guys lived under a rock, quite literally in your house, you probably saw the news that over the past year and a half so time frame that the U.S. Navy decided to cancel the physical readiness test due to mitigations with everything going on in the world, and essentially they were not trying to cause any more spread of this, while they were going to say, let's wait for everyone to get vaccinated and then let's see going back to the drawing board. Now, they have said that officially now the fitness test will be coming back for the second PFA cycle of 2021, and so that cycle starts beginning in July and ending in December, as long as you take it within that time period. Don't forget, the U.S. Navy has also decided to get rid of the traditional sit-up, which required you to have your fingers on your collarbones and going up to touch in between your knees and down at the base of your thigh. And essentially they have now gone to a plank, which we're kind of doing two type of plank exercises with push-ups and then going into the core exercise of a regular plank. But that means you guys should have been training, and the My Navy HR page has not made that a secret at all, as they somehow end up putting on every single post at least once a day. Are you going to work out? Are you working out? Are you prepping for the PRT? Are you even thinking about the PRT? And then all the sarcastic jokes come about where people are like, yeah, I've been sitting on my couch for the past year and a half. I thought about it, not going to do it, or I'm getting out, or whatever else they come up with. Now, the hard part about this is everybody has to do this PRT, physical readiness test, because the fact that we missed the last two. If you don't know, you are able to skip a cycle of the PRT if you do get excellence or higher, and because of that, many people were able to do every other. Now, with missing two cycles, if you're like me where you were good enough to get an excellent on the last one right before this, you got the same two off as everybody else. So we're back on track. But that's not where this is easier. I think the planks are a little bit easier, but I will say, going into the fact that with these planks that are coming, it is not required for you to pass this portion of the test in this PRT. So meaning you could go for 1 second, fail, pass the run, pass the push-ups, get it excellent, and be validated and not have to pass the next one. Official word says, scoring of plank modality. Since the plank is a new mandatory modality, the score of the plank will not be included in their final score. Medically cleared sailors will participate in the plank modality and should give it their best efforts, as we will use the scores to validate our scoring tables. Make sure you guys get your reps in working out this video with your thumb, pushing down that like button, hitting subscribe if you haven't. We're almost on the road to 100,000. We're almost at 98, pretty much meaning they're going to try and make sure that the sample groups that they took from meet the requirements or match the similar curve that you're going to see, because there's not an evenly spaced interval. If you look at how the scoring is done, it's actually based on a bell curve type thing, and essentially when you look at this, it's like the middle, it's harder to get to the next bracket, but at the very top of the curve, like the difference between outstanding low to outstanding high is very minimal. And on top of that, it looks like they are not requiring people to count this as a failure if they do fail the run or push-ups as a second consecutive failure. So if you failed the last official Navy fitness test back in 2019, the last official one we had, and now you're coming back to this fitness test and you get a failure on this one, it doesn't count. This actually blew my mind, because I was like, you had more time to get fit. You had more time to actually think about it. You had a lot of downtime, as many people were teleworking and doing all these other things, where I'm like, there was outside. They were pushing, go outside, go run, go do stuff inside your house. Hell, the entire YouTube blew up with self-workout stuff at your house and everything else on social media to try and make sure you didn't go crazy. So I'm kind of confused at how this became a thing where people would want to sit around and do nothing. I mean, I did a lot of nothing, but still, that's not the fact. I still would want to be held accountable for having to pass a fitness test. I've never been waived or failed any of them. And now the last official change, which I think is probably very good in implementation, and I know a lot of the females that are in the military are pissed off about this, but if you are pregnant and you were waived from the fitness test, everybody is for a period, when you come back, you have to perform a wellness check to see you do the PRT, do the planks, push-ups, and the run, and it's just an unofficial scoring to kind of give you the nudge of like, get back in shape, which I think is fair. I've heard from a lot of people that have gone through this process that say it is a little bit difficult getting back on the training regimen, and obviously staying up with that when you have a new member that you're taking care of and all that kind of stuff. It is what it is, and I will say that the PRT cycles do creep up on you very quickly. Looking at the Navy fitness test, I know a lot of people find this to be something that needs to be totally revamped. I know that people are like, the Navy's too easy. And I would say the Navy's actually a very hard branch to nail down what type of fitness test is required or what is expected, because we don't say every sailor is a sailor. That's not like saying that every Marine is a rifleman or every soldier is a soldier. It's very different because we work across a more diverse platform, I would say, compared to other branches, because when I look at myself as a greenside corpsman that is out here, you know, it is expected we have to run it. And I could do physical stuff such as lifting people, casualties, medical supplies, things like that, and be actually with Marines. And I would say, if anything, we should be on their standards, but that's not going to happen because we're part of the Navy. Now, when you look at the comparison to somebody that's on a ship, how much running are they going to have to do on a destroyer that's how many 100 feet long or whatever else? Like, it makes it very difficult to narrow this stuff down. And I know that frustrates people, but there are more sailors that are actually serving on land than are serving on, you know, big metal floating things in the water called ships. And this does include people that work in CB battalions with construction stuff, which are on, we're talking about aviation squadrons, you know. It gets very diverse quickly, where I know the Navy is known for the ships, but that's just not the truth in where a lot of people are working and kind of the demands of the job itself. And that's why I wanted to bring this question to you guys. Do you guys think that the Navy should adopt maybe a total overhaul system such as the Army with the Army Combat Fitness Test? I'd like to also know from the sailors, because you guys will be directly impacted. But as always, if you guys do like what we do over on this channel, we do have a Patreon link down below where you can get some special perks and benefits. On top of that, we have a YouTube membership link below this video where you can get some special perks and benefits with that as well. But as always, if you guys do have questions about this or anything else, you can always hit me up on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, or down in the comments below. I love you guys. I'll see you next time.